Sample Exam 1 solution video. Make sure that you read the warning before you start doing the exam. So, step 1. Change the font of the body text to Arial narrow and the font size to 10 points and change the line spacing to single. As you know, to change the body text we need to change the normal style. Normal style change to Arial narrow, font size 10 points and line spacing single. I forgot to turn my formatting symbols on. Here we are. Make first level titles of the paragraphs beginning, forward, diversity and so on. So first level titles, that means that we apply heading 1. So forward, diversity, employment, workspace safety, workspace expectations, compensation, time off and leaves of absence, and benefits. Make second level titles of the paragraphs beginning. Second level titles, of course, is heading 2. Beginning, equal employment, Americans with disabilities, drug-free workspace, safety, smoke-free workplace, confidentiality, electronic communication, social media acceptable use, payment of wages, and employee travel. Here it is. Number 3. Change the formatting of the first level titles to spacing after 12 points. As you know, we need to do this in our heading 1 style. Spacing after 12 points. And change the formatting of the second level titles to font size 12. Heading 2, obviously, and font size 12. 4. At the beginning of the document, insert a simple text box. Insert a simple text box. Change the text wrapping to square. This is not square, this is square. Change the shape width to 11 centimeters, so 11, and the height to 1.5 centimeters. Oh, I turned this around, so 1.5, 11, yes. Center the box horizontally relative to margin. Alignment horizontal, centered relative to margin, and place it top relative to margin. Top relative to margin. There we go. Apply the shape style intense effect blue accent 1. It's in the second column, final row of the theme style. So let's look at our styles. These are the theme styles. Second column, final row, and indeed intense effect blue accent 1. In the text box, that is number 5, type front range action sports. Change the font size to 26 points. 26. And center the text. Before employee handbook, so that's this one, type 3 blank paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, to move it below the text box. That is step number 6 in the sample exam. Then move all the text starting with the paragraph forward to a new page and make the first page vertically centered. If we want to vertically center the first page, we need to insert a section break, because vertical alignment is section formatting. So let's do that. Let's insert a next page section break and go back up and make sure that the first page, which is now the first section, has, so that's in the layout tab, has vertical alignment center. Center employee handbook and make it bold. I did this with my keyboard, Control B, instead of pushing the button, which is exactly the same thing. Moving on to step 7. On page 2, display the footer area and insert the file name to the left. Insert the file name to the left, sorry, header and footer. Insert the file name to the left and a plain page number to the right of the footer. So we tab to the right tab and we insert a plain page number, always current position, as you know, at the position of the right tab, that is. And we need to make sure that the title page does not have a footer. Now, let's take a look at our settings. So we know that this is the footer of section 2, which means that we cannot use different first page, because different first page, as you know, means the first page of this section. So if we check this, this footer will be gone. So what do we need to do? We need to break the link between the footer of our second section and the footer of the first section by removing this label, and we do that by deselecting this button. So now the link is gone, and now we can go to our first page and we can delete the footer. And you will see that here on the second page we still have the footer. Next step, step 8. Change the font size of the footer to 8 points and add a half-point top border. As you know, we need to do this in the footer style. We change it to 8 points and we add a half-point top border. Step number 9. Number the first level titles as ABC without period, second level titles at 1, 2, 3 without period and no number from the first level. And the position for both the number and the text is the same for both levels. So how do we do this? Multi-level list. We just apply one that has headings associated and then we change it to what the instructions say. Because my insertion point was positioned at the second title, I now have number 1. In class I told you that it's less confusing if you put your insertion point in the first title, because then you will have number 1 here. But it doesn't really matter, it might just be slightly less confusing if you click in the first title. So the first level titles, we want them to be ABC, no period. Second level titles, we do not want to include the number from the first level. And for both levels, so I will go back to the first one, the number is aligned at 0 and the text at 0.5. Set for all levels. There we go. Let's check. Yes, it's correct. Also 0 and 0.5. We can now close that dialog box. Number 10. After the title page, create a new blank page and in the first paragraph type table of contents. Let's read what else we need to do. Give it the same formatting as the first level titles, but make sure it will not appear in the table of contents. So we do not need to do anything that includes section formatting, which means that a page break is just fine. I always prefer to take away the formatting of blank paragraphs because we have no use for that, and you will see that it will not affect the following title. So we type table of contents, mind you, in capital letters, because it needs to have the same formatting as the first level titles. So table of contents, and give it the same formatting as the first level titles, but make sure it does not appear in the table of contents. I'm just going to put the page break out of the way, and I will apply heading 1. I will take away the number as you've learned in class, and I will create a new style, and I will call it, for example, talk, no number, any name is fine. And the next step I need to do is go to references, to add text, and then click do not show in table of contents. Next step, insert a blank paragraph without formatting below. Without formatting. This is my mistake, because I defined the style to have the same style, so talk no number, for the following paragraph. So obviously that needs to be normal, and if it had been normal, and if I had pressed enter here, this would have had the normal style. So no formatting. So insert a blank paragraph without formatting below the title table of contents, and insert a custom table of contents with the from template formatting. So references, table of contents, custom table of contents, from template format. And what do we see in the preview? The talk no number style is included, so we still need to take it out. Something has gone wrong, so let's find it here and just delete the talk level from the talk no number style. There you go, it's gone. And now we can insert it. Position the text of the level 1 talk titles at 0.8 centimeters and bold the talk titles. So let's go to our talk 1. And we need to position the text of the talk 1 titles at 0.8. So that means that we need to first take out the tab, but as you know, we always get the bug, so we need to go back and just play around with this tab a little bit so that it will appear in our style. Go back to talk 1, go to tabs, and I take away this tab, and instead I put in a hanging indent, as you know, and the hanging indent should be at 0.8 centimeters. Bold the talk 1 titles, bold. That's that. Position the number of the level 2 talk titles at 0. We go to level 2. Oh, maybe first play around with the tab a little bit so that it shows up in a dialog box. So as you know, tab is not a good way to set the position of the text, but we need a hanging indent. So here in the level 2 talk titles, the number should be positioned at 0. 0.8 centimeters. 0.8. So we set that with the left indent, and the text at 1.6. Now, as you know, we set the position of the text with the hanging indent, and the hanging indent is the space, the distance between the left indent and the hanging indent. So to get to 1.6, we need to add 0.8 to the left indent. So our hanging indent is 0.8. Check this in the course, not the course catalog, in the course material if you do not understand what I am doing here. Anything else? Oh yes, take away the dotted leader from the level 2 talk titles. So we go to the tabs, and as you can see, the page number tab has a dotted leader, and we need to take this out. Don't forget to hit set. Okay, okay. And this is our table of contents. To have a good look, let's turn off the formatting symbols, and this looks absolutely perfect. Let's go to number 12. Below the title employment, to quickly go to employment, I can control click my table of contents. Here I am, but I'm putting my navigation pane on because that also makes it easy to navigate through the document. Below the title employment, change the bulleted list as follows. This is the bulleted list. Bullet positioned against the left margin and the text positioned at 0.5. So the first thing that I'm doing is decreasing the indent, and this places the bullet against the left margin, and then I want the text to be at 0.5. The text is positioned with the hanging indent, so I'm dragging it to 0.5. Next, that is step 14, we need to create a style for this bulleted list and call it list paragraph bullets. Apply it to the two other lists in the document. My list is still selected, which makes it easy to create a new style. List paragraph bullets. For bullets, it is a good idea to have the same style for the following paragraph, so that when you hit enter, you continue with your bullets. Okay. And we need to apply it to the two other lists in our document. So this is one list paragraph, it's at the top, because I have not sorted them alphabetically. And this is the second list. Number 15. Below the title compensation, change the 4 paragraphs to a column format with 2 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. So I select all 4 of them, go to layout, columns 2. 16. Below the title beginning time off, beginning with vacation and ending with up to 5 years, turn all 7 paragraphs into 1 paragraph, which means that we need to replace all paragraph breaks with line breaks. So I delete and insert Shift Enter, delete, Shift Enter, delete, Shift Enter, delete, Shift Enter. So now we have 1 paragraph. 17. For this whole paragraph, set a right tab stop with a dotted leader at 12 centimeters. Now, because it's 1 paragraph and tabs are paragraph formatting, I don't even have to select the paragraph. I can just go to my tabs dialog box and set a 12 centimeter right tab stop with dotted leaders. Because I cannot set the leaders using our little symbols here, using the ruler, I need to use a tab dialog box. Okay, the tabs had already been typed, so everything nicely moves to the 12 centimeter tab position. 18. Change the page number format in the footer to hyphen space 1 space hyphen. So, and the 1 obviously is a dynamic field, so will be 2 for page 2, etc. So I can do this on any page because we only have 2 sections in this document. So this is very easy. Hyphen space the page number space hyphen. Now you have to make sure that in your autocorrect options your hyphens are not replaced with dashes, so that this is checked off. Because if your hyphens are replaced with dashes, you will get this longer line instead of the hyphen. So this was already set in my autocorrect option, so I didn't need to do this in advance. Yes, that's that, I think, for number 18. And then we have one more step, which is step 19. Replace all smart quotes with straight quotes. We have done this already in one of our exercises. So again, you have to make sure that in your autocorrect options you are actually able to type straight quotes, which means that this needs to be checked off. So we do not want our straight quotes to be replaced with smart quotes, because if you have this checked, it means that you can never replace the smart quotes with straight quotes, because whenever you type quotes, they will become smart quotes, as explained in the course material. So this is correct already, so I can just cancel, and now I am just going to replace, and because I did this exercise before, I still have it in my find replace dialog box, so I just type the quotes and I type the quotes again in the replace with box. So it will find quotes, and in this document the quotes are smart quotes, and it will replace them with the only quotes that I can type, which are straight quotes. Replace all, and we have 6 replacements. That's that for the sample exam.